Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 3, and today we're taking a look at the 1996 HSV GTSR. So yeah, HSV is Holden's sports variants division, just like AMG is like to Mercedes and M cars are to the likes of BMW. And yeah, even though this looks like a racing car, it really isn't. It's just a mock-up of one. Though that's not to say that this isn't a car that has serious performance and serious handling, because it does. And yeah, only 85 of these were ever produced, so yeah, really rather rare and really rather an oddity as well. And it's certainly not a car I have ever heard of before this it was released in the car pack. So yeah, one of the best things about this car is easily the engine, and yeah, it's got 308 horsepower, 350 pounds-feet of torque from its 5.7 litre V8, and it's also fuel injected as well. And yeah, it easily shifts its weight at 3,591 pounds. So yeah, certainly not a heavy car either by the 90s standards. And yeah, looks really rather interesting with that spoiler on it as well. But the interior is a bit garish, quite frankly. They've gone overboard with the yellow, quite frankly, because yellow seats, yellow stitching, yellow inserts on the doors. Yeah, it's a bit over the top really. But yeah, certainly not boring, just a bit garish, quite frankly, and plenty of HSV badges everywhere as well. But yeah, still a practical saloon nonetheless, as you can see. It's got plenty of space in the back. So yeah, easily usable. And also a big boot as well. So yeah, even though it is a racing car mock-up and it is a car that's, you know, a sports saloon, it's still a practical, well thought out car that, yeah, can also tear it up on the track. But to see what it can do, but I am also going to not only take it onto a certain circuit, but I'm also going to compare it to another mid-90s saloon car, the BMW M5, because there are a couple of interesting similarities between the two of them. So yeah, see you when we get onto that circuit. So like I was saying, one of the best things about this car is the engine. Specially designed for this car as well, and even though it is quite a low revving engine, it still sounds really good, and that torque helps get you out of the corners and off the line really rather well as well. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm going to compare this to the 1995 BMW M5, and that's because there's one curious little similarity between the two of these cars, is that they have the exact same 0 to 60 time. And that's despite the fact that that BMW has 34 horsepower more, but 49 pounds-feet of torque less, and weighs 181 pounds more as well. So yeah, despite all those differences, from to have both the exact same 0 to 60 time, and being released around the same time as well, and having completely different engines as well, is really rather surprising, and I was surprised when I found that out. The 0 to 60 time of this car is 5.617 seconds, and the 0 to 100 time is 13.9 seconds, which is 0.018 seconds quicker than the M5, which is only slightly quicker, I know, but it kind of matters when you're dealing with cars as similar as these. Though the BMW M5 does have this licked in terms of top speed without its limiter on at 181 mile an hour, while this can only do 160. 160 mile an hour is still not all that shabby, especially from a mid-90s saloon car, and it's certainly not what a lot of saloon cars from today can do. So yeah, hardly a bad thing. And the car itself has a lot of character. I really like the way it looks. It might be outlandish and it might be a bit garish, but certainly not boring. And even though I do also like the look of the BMW, it is somewhat restrained, and it is, you know, atypical of the look of the BMW at that time, and it looks like just like a lot of other cars in their lineup from that period. So yeah, prefer this in terms of looks, prefer it in terms of its engine as well, because it has more torque, which makes it more usable more of the time. And even though it does have slightly less horsepower, 34 horsepower to be exact, it still doesn't matter in terms of 0 to 60 time or 0 to 100 times, and only really matters in terms of top end speed. But it's highly unlikely you're ever going to get to 180 mile an hour in a stock BMW M5 on a lot of the circuits on this game. So yeah, I personally think this car's got more going for it than the M5. I also prefer the handling as well, because the car, like I said, is lighter and is therefore easier to stick into the bends. And yeah, also with all that torque, offers some nice drifting to go with it as well, because you can really stick it out like that. And even though you have to go through a lot of debris, because it is Forza Horizon and not the normal Forza Motorsport games, it's still really rather fun nonetheless. So yeah, I love it. It's easily one of my favourites out of the car pack. And once again, they've put in an Australian car that I've never heard of, and certainly never played in a game before. So yeah, and this is from someone that actually really likes that BMW M5 as well. It's probably my favourite M5 out of the lot that are on either this game or previous Forza games. But yeah, I prefer this car on the whole. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video. I know I haven't done reviews for a while, and I am trying to get back into doing them, but the kind of way that Forza Horizon 3 works in comparison to Forza Motorsport 6 just makes it slightly harder to do reviews. But I'm going to try, because you guys like them, and I do like finding out more about cars. So yeah, I recommend trying this out if you haven't got the car pack, because the car pack as a whole is really rather good. And I certainly recommend trying this out first over the other cars, because yeah, unlike those other cars, this is one that, outside of the Bentley concept, is certainly one you're not really ever going to see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.